Hello everyone, welcome to a new video. So here you can see three lenses in front of me. We have the Tamron 150-600 G2 over here on the right. Here on the left we have the Sigma Contemporary 150-600, and in the centre we have the Canon 100-400 Mark II L lens with a 1.4 extender on there. Right, so basically I'm going to show you some examples of focus on all these lenses. We're trying to figure out if which is the best, really, which focus is quicker, because I already know that primes are downsight quicker than super telephoto lens zoom lenses are. However, what I'm trying to determine is the new Tamron G2 lens that we have here any good? We already know this lens is probably a tiny bit sharper than the Sigma Contemporary that we've got here. Other reviewers on YouTube have said so, and we will address image quality in the coming week, and I will be uploading some image quality assessments between all three lenses. So keep tuned for those videos because they are coming. Just bear with me while I get those made for you guys. So without further ado, let's go and watch the test and see how they perform. Hello everyone, welcome to a new video. We're just testing the Tamron lens, this telephoto lens, which is the SP 150-600mm f5 to 6.3 DIVC USD G2 lens. We're testing the focus at the moment with this duck we've got framed up. We're about 20 meters away. Now I just want to test the focus speed. So we're going to defocus it. Its minimum focus is 2.2 meters, a bit better than the Sigma lenses in terms of minimum focus, but we want to test how it does in terms of speed. Okay, that's locked on. Let's go to infinity and test that. Locked on. Let's do this same test for consistency. Defocused again, minimum focus. And let's do that again at infinity. Okay, so that's the duck test concluded. Let's move on to the Sigma lens. Right, we have the Sigma Contemporary lens here. As you can see, we've got our duck framed up there at 600mm. We're going to test this Contemporary lens, which is a 150-600 f5 to 6.3 DG HSM Contemporary lens, and we're going to test the quickness of the focus as we've done on the Contemporary. So what we're going to do is defocus it. Now we are set up in photography mode, if you're wondering. So obviously what you're seeing is what's in the viewfinder on the LCD screen, that is. So this is the EOS R full frame, so we're going to defocus it and then we'll be able to test how quick the focus is. So let's just do that. Defocus, its closest focus distance is 2.8 meters. Okay, locked on. Go to infinity focus. Locked on, really quick. And let's go to closest focus distance again for consistency. Locked on, and let's go to infinity focus again, and there you go. To my eye, I'm seeing excellent performance from the Contemporary lens versus the Tamron, which is really surprising. So the next thing we're going to do, as a comparison, I thought I'd get the Canon 100-400 Mark II L lens, which I've got, and put the extender on, the Mark III 1.4. And we'll see how that does as well. Put it all together for you guys so you can see the examples, and let me know in the comments what you think, and please do like the video and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the stuff I'm doing. So let's get on with the Canon test. So welcome to this video, ladies and gentlemen. Here we have the Canon 100-400 Mark II L lens. It's an f5.6 aperture lens, so it's a slightly better aperture than the Sigma lenses, and the Tamron lens at 6.3 at 600mm. Obviously it's not quite 600mm because we're using the 1.4 Mark III extender on this. So this is going to get us out to 560mm on full frame. This is the EOS R camera, so it's a full frame sensor on the mirrorless camera that we're using. We're using the adapter, of course. And obviously I haven't updated the firmware on the Tamron and the Sigma lenses as yet, because we're testing how they are performing out of the box without having to update anything. So we've obviously got the Canon here. I want to defocus it just like we've done on the other lenses and see how it performs. So without further ado, let's get on with the test. This is 560mm, and we're focusing on that duck again. So without further ado, let's defocus the lens. Remember, it's 0.98cm, so it's got a better focusing capability, so it can focus a lot closer, so it should be slower because of that. So let's just try again. Okay, we're locked on. So let's defocus it to infinity. Okay, locked on. For consistency, let's do the test again. Remember, 0.98cm is the closest it can actually focus to. Okay, we're locked on, and let's do the infinity test again. Now this lens has a focus limiter on it, and obviously the other lenses also have focus limiters on it. But just for the sake of argument, let's put the 3 meter to infinity limiter on this lens and see if it can catch up with those other lenses. Obviously I've not used the actual limiter on the Sigma and Tamron lenses, because I want to see how they perform, you know, in terms of the entirety or the fullness of their focus capability. But just for the argument's sake, because this lens can focus a lot closer, let's see how quicker it is putting the limiter on. Okay, the 3 meter limiter is on, so let's defocus it. See if it's any quicker. Locked on, go into infinity, locked on, and let's go to nearest focus again, locked on, and let's go to infinity one more time. And that is the test concluded. Thank you. Hello everyone, welcome to a new video. Just before we lose the light, which is getting dark at the moment, I just want to quickly show you and test the 10 meter to infinity limiter on the Sigma contemporary lens and see how it does for focus. Now, it's probably a good test actually this, because in low light situations lenses do struggle, and that's the best time to test lenses out to see if they can cope with reduced light. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to defocus the lens. Now the minimum focus on this is 2 meters and 2.2 meters. Obviously we'll do it from infinity as well, the test. So let's just defocus the lens and see how it does. So let's just defocus it, and let's see how quickly it takes to focus. Focus nice and quick. Let's go to infinity focus. Focus very quickly. Let's do that again one more time. So that's the minimum focus. Focus nice and quick. And let's go to infinity focus. And it's focused nicely. So let's test the next lens. Right, just before the light completely fades, we've got the Tamron 150 to 600 G2 lens here. We've set the limiter from 10 meters to infinity, so we're using the limiter to try and give us better and quicker focus. So let's just see if it improves anything on the Tamron lens. So let's just defocus to the minimum focus, which is 2.2 meters. Let's go to infinity, that's 600 millimeters. Try that again at minimum focus, which will be probably 10 meters, which should improve and quicken focus. This doesn't seem to be making any difference, believe it or not. I think I'm setting up the camera correctly. I'll double check the lens just to have a look, but this seems really odd. So we are set at 10 meters to infinity. Let's change that to full and see if that changes anything. Just seems really weird. So let's just try that again, because it did seem awfully slow. So let's do this again on the EOS R full frame. So let's go to the minimum focus on the device, on the lens. No, it seems still quite slow. Go to infinity again. I'm a loss of words. The Tamron is certainly not performing like the Sigma. Let's get the Sigma back on. I want to find out what's going on here. So let's put the Sigma back on and let's turn the limiter on and off and see if that makes a difference, because this is really weird. Right, just before the light fades on the Sigma contemporary lens, I want to check the focus limiter to find out what's going on. So let's just check how it performs as it is, which is presently set to 10 meters to infinity. So let's just see how the focus performs when we defocus the lens to its minimum, which is 2.8 meters. There we go. Try again. Quick, really quick. Let's go to infinity again. Try again. Quick. Let's go to the minimum again, which is 2.8 meters. There you go. And then we'll go to infinity again. There we go. So what we've determined is the lens is doing pretty well in full. So what I wanted, no sorry, that was 10 meters to infinity we were just on. Now we're on full. Let's check and see how it does on full mode. So obviously we're going to minimum focus, 2.8 meters. It's quick. Let's try that again. Infinity. Let's go to minimum focus, which is 2.8 meters, which is doing a lot better. Infinity, and there you go. So yeah, really confusing. So thanks for watching these videos. My assessment of the performance of the Tamron G2 lens is that while it can focus nearer than the contemporary Sigma lens at 2.2 meters versus 2.8 meters, and I'll briefly bring into the conversation the 150-600 sport lens. While that has a minimum focus of 2.6 meters, it's not quite as good as the new Tamron, which is 2.2 meters, and the old Tamron minimum focus was 2.7 meters. The elephant in the room obviously is the Canon 100-400-2L lens that we've got here. That can focus as close as 98 centimeters, or in other words 0.98 of a meter. So just under a meter the Canon lens can focus very close, but it also means it has more time, it requires more time to move the elements to be able to focus. However, all three lenses have focus limiters, as I've just shown you. So the Canon has a 3 meter to infinity limiter. Both the 150-600 lenses that we've got here, the Tamron and the Sigma, have limiters of 10 meters to infinity, and you can modify that using the Sigma dock you can buy for the Sigma lens. If you want to know what it looks like, check out one of my videos, because I've just done a first look at those devices. They're basically USB devices you put on the lens. On the Tamron side, there's the Tamron tap in console. and it allows you to update firmware, modify the limiter, and modify the stabilizer. Now, I've already just done a video about stabilization, so have a look at the examples there. It'll give you a good rough idea which is the better, but I'll give you a general idea of what I'm thinking the performance means. So my assessment is the Canon image stabilizer is very smooth and reliable, and I think it's the best stabilizer of the bunch. In terms of the Sigma and Tamron, I think they're pretty much even. They claim 3 to 4 stops. I would probably err between 2 and 3 stops, if I'm absolutely honest with you. The Canon, I would say yes, you're getting 4 stops of image stabilization, and it's very smooth. In fact, for video, I think the Canon is the better lens. However, these other 2 lenses give you 600mm, which is more reach than the 400. Yes, you can put extenders on these, but then you're going to get an issue regarding focus. And obviously these lenses are not, these 150 to 600 lenses are not super sharp like the Canon is. So I've done a test and you've seen the results. The Tamron out of the box, because obviously I've not updated the firmware, I will give you an updated assessment of autofocus and image stabilization when I've updated the firmware. That video is coming, guys, so please bear with me. I'm going to update these lenses within the next day or so, and then we'll find out if autofocus has improved. While other YouTubers have said the Tamron G2 is a great lens and is fantastic and is sharper than the contemporary, I think there's very little in it. I think you would really have to pixel peep to see any difference in these two 150 to 600 lenses. In regards to the stabilizer, I think they're probably pretty much even. But when it comes to autofocus speed, I've just seen in the video I've just done, I'm really shocked that the Tamron lens is so much slower than the Sigma. I just can't believe it. And if you're thinking about the Sport at 150 to 600 as well, that's pretty much on the same speed in terms of autofocus and the stabilizer in comparison to the contemporary lens. Because if you really want to, check some of the videos I've done in the past where I actually did a comparison between the 3 super zoom lenses about 4 years ago when they came out. So we had the Tamron G1 lens, we had the Sigma Sport and the Sigma Contemporary. I bought them all and I did a comparison. So in this video I'm comparing these 3, the Tamron G2 lens, which is the new lens that I reviewed, the updated lens, the Canon 100-400 Mark II L, and obviously I rebought the contemporary lens because I wanted to compare it with the new G2 lens. And over and over and over again where I've tested focus on the EOS R, not just the EOS R though, I've tested it on the 90D and the 7D Mark II as well, the contemporary lens beats the Tamron G2 in focus regularly, not just occasionally, all the time, as you've seen in the examples. So obviously I'm really frustrated because I was really hoping that the Tamron lens would be super and blow away the contemporary lens, and it isn't. Literally it isn't. Obviously we'll address image quality in another video, but I just want to say thanks for watching these comparisons in stabilizer, autofocus. We're waiting for image quality. The thing is, I think the Tamron will probably beat the Sigma Contemporary on image quality by a very small margin, maybe 1, maybe 2% at most. So you've got to make your mind up which you think is best. You see, what comes to mind is there is a video on YouTube. It says, I think it's called "My Tamron Lens is Terrible," and there's I think there've been about over 40,000 views on that video. And in that video, there's a lady who talks about how the Tamron lens can't lock on and can't focus quickly, and gives a fuzzy images that are not sharp. So I did reach out to that YouTuber, and she said basically what she's done is she sent it back to Tamron, and they sent her another one, and it did the same thing. So it did give me some concern when I bought this lens, as well as the contemporary, because I've spent a lot of money. You know, there's about £2,000 in those two lenses, and I'm thinking I'm not too happy with the Tamron and how it's behaving. So if a firmware update doesn't improve autofocus on this particular lens, I'm going to be sending it back and asking for the company who I bought it from, which was Amazon, to give me a refund, because it just doesn't perform as well as the Sigma Contemporary. If you're wondering, I got the 150 to 600 Tamron on a deal where you can pay for it monthly, 0% interest, which is a great deal, fantastic. But you know, I like the lens. It feels nice. It's nice quality. It looks robust. It's got some good weather sealing on it. It's well built. A lot of it is, you know, metals. You know, it's a metal mount. It's got weather sealing, a weather seal gasket on the top of it, just like the Sigma has. But the Sigma doesn't have weather sealing further down. Obviously, the Canon is completely weather sealed all the way through. It has a gasket on the top, just like all three of these lenses. So I'm a little bit disappointed with the Tamron, and I'll continue to bring you some more tests. But it's up to you to make your mind up, really, because obviously you've seen the examples, and it's up to you to decide which you think is better. But for me, when it comes to autofocus performance, and that's where it's really important, guys. If you're doing wildlife or aviation, sports photography, whatever you're doing that's fast action, you need autofocus to be reliable and very quick. And I'm finding that, to be honest with you, the Tamron seems to hunt quite a bit. It's about 50% slower than the Sigma Contemporary. Obviously, the plus side to this particular lens is it can focus closer at 2.2 meters versus 2.8 on the Sigma. However, you can always get yourself what you call it, a spacer. You can always fit an extension tube on your lens, doesn't matter what lens it is, and make its closest focusing distance a lot shorter. For example, I could put a 12mm Canon, what they call a spacer, but it's an extension tube. It's just a hollow tube basically, and it allows me to focus closer. I think I was able to focus within 2 meters instead of 2.8 meters with that. And they don't cost a lot of money. You know, you can get cheap ones at about £10, £20, or you can get the expensive Canon ones that you can pick up for about £60 to £80. I think Canon do a 12mm and a 45mm one. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. Keep tuned for further updates where I'm going to do a firmware update and modify the focus, as well as having a look at if autofocus can be improved. But for the time being, I'm a bit disappointed with the Tamron. So thanks for watching, take care everyone, and you know, like the video and subscribe to my channel if my content is of any interest to you, and thank you for watching.